What's poppin', y'all? We back with the DeAndre McKenzie channel with my podcast. We picking the week NFL 11 picks. What's up? I'm
What up, man?
DeAndre.
What up, man? I'm Bailey. We're back. We're gonna blow this page up. DeAndre is about to start his own podcast too on this page.
We
You
already,
want to
yeah,
give him a little preview?
we already started the podcast, Identity Podcast. Check out the first episode. It's on right now. It's a good listen to. Just help people figure out go inside the minds of athletes or former athletes. I say that trying to figure out what they're trying to do after they done playing, essentially, and get into the mind track of how the mentality goes with being identified only as your sport.
I can't wait till my episode. So I'm excited. First episode was really good. So go check it out, guys.
Exactly. And we got another podcast popping up soon, but I won't reveal what that is just yet. It's just gonna be a surprise for y'all. Give it about a week. Anyways, let's get into these week 11 picks. I was over 500 last week. This man was not once again.
And what was my record? Do you remember?
Like 5-7-1 or something.
Yikes!
I went 7-6-1.
Tough week. In retrospect,
It was a hard week last week. Last
It's
week was a very
week for
difficult
you.
week. There was a lot of close weeks, but as long as we stay in there for 500, that's the only thing I could ask for.
Let's get it.
But we aiming for 2 games over 500 this week. Anyways, let's get into it. First game of the week, the Cincinnati Bengals at the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are -3.5 this game. Thursday night football tonight. It's going to be good weather tonight. Nice in November. Ravens coming off a horrible loss. The Bengals coming off a horrible loss. They lost me in my survivor pool, so I'm upset about that. But hey, the show must go on. This one is going to be a close, tight-knit game. I think it's going to be similar to the Browns-Ravens game last week without, the Ravens having another collapse. So I'm taking the Bengals +3.5. Devastating loss last week, and I just think they need to bounce back this week. Ravens also, but the Bengals need a little bit more in my eyes.
I'm gonna take the Ravens here. I saw on Twitter T. Higgins and Trey Hendricks are out, and I think that's enough. I mean, I think Jamar Chase still has a big game, and I would love that. But I'm gonna take the Baltimore Ravens -3.5 at home. Give me that. Both have tough losses.
Next game is the first Sunday game. The Chicago Bears at the Detroit Lions. The Lions are -7.5. Coming off a close big win against the Chargers. The Bears, doing the Bear things, losing per usual. I don't think they played last week. No, they beat the Panthers. They both coming off wins. So this game's pretty simple for me. I'm taking the Lions -7.5. I don't think the Bears have enough to keep up if they wanted to. They're pretty much a bottom 5 team in the NFL, bottom feeder, feeding on the ground with the rats and the roaches and the crickets and the ants. And I think they stay that spot. The Lions just going to keep racking up these easy wins. They should win their next 5 games and make the playoffs and maybe do some damage. So give me Lions -7.5.
I'm gonna also take the Lions here. There's no really incentive for Chicago to win this game. They could have Caleb Williams and maybe draft Marvin Harrison Jr. in the same draft. That would be insane. No incentive. Give me the Lions as well.
Next game is the Dallas Cowboys at the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers are +10.5. The Cowboys covered their 17 spread last week by a lot. I think they'll cover this 10.5 spread by a lot. Give me 20 points, actually. Cowboys -10.5. Very simple for me. Bryce Young still not getting the job done. Can't even, beat the Bears. And it's just not looking bright for this young man in this season. I'll give him a little bit of time. But he's going to throw at least 1 pick. So if you're looking for a lot, he's throwing a pick. He's going to get sacked at least 3 times. It's not going to be a good day for Bryce Young and the Panthers. Hopefully their Thanksgiving goes better than this game. Cowboys -10.5.
Yep, I'm going to also take the Cowboys here. I don't see an incentive to take the Panthers. I mean, sometimes you get those wacky, fluky games, but I mean,
this ain't one of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna also take the Cowboys. Better team overall. So, yep, I'll take the -10.5.
Next game is the Las Vegas Raiders at the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are
Big
-13.5. Now, I think Raiders won their last couple games, so they're on a 2-game winning streak, I believe. And the Dolphins, they're trying to get back on track after losing to the Chiefs. The Dolphins, I think, win this game. O'Connell's been playing all right. This spread is a little tricky, but give me the Dolphins -13.5. They don't know how to hit them early, hit them hard, and knock them out the park. And I think the Raiders, if they don't catch them on like the first, second drive with the touchdown, it's gonna be a long day for them in the office. They might need to call in sick during halftime because they might be down 3 scores. So give me the Dolphins -13.5.
I like that pick. I'm also gonna tell you on that just because Miami's coming off a bye week. Las Vegas is Las Vegas. Miami tends to beat up on the bad teams, and not show up when they play good teams. And this is a bad team, so this is where they beat up. This is where they get their BCS rankings up in the league. So I'm gonna take the minus 13.5.
The Dolphins have only beaten under 500 teams this season.
Trash.
This will be another one.
Frauds.
Next game is the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are -1 coming off a big win, and the Steelers are +1 coming off a big win, I guess you could say. So Watson's out for the season. It's pretty tragic. Means PJ Walker will be their quarterback for the rest of the season.
Not good.
He's been playing okay this year, actually. I think the Browns have a better team overall, even without Watson. This game's kind of a toss-up, but I think this is the Steelers' division to kind of get back into now and kind of catch up a little bit, even though they're in the playoff picture. But give me the Steelers +1. If the Browns got a good squad, but give me the Steelers +1.
I like that pick too. I'm gonna also. I feel like I'm trailing your picks here, but I'm gonna take Pittsburgh +1 as well. Mike Tomlin always seems to do his thing, and I don't trust PJ Walker in this spot. I think it'll be a low scoring game, but give me the Steelers, give me Pickett, and some of those playmakers he has.
Next game is the New York Giants at the Washington Commanders. The Commanders are -8.5. Both these teams aren't the greatest. Both these teams might be getting new head coaches in the coming weeks or at the end of the season. I think the Commanders got a good quarterback, but they just need. They've been scoring a lot of points, so Bieniemy's been doing his job. But I just think they're missing the consistency. And they're missing kind of the defense. They traded away their best defensive player because they're trying to, maybe draft high for a new one. I don't know, but
2 of them too.
Yeah,
Sweat and
Chase Young.
Yeah.
But give me the Giants +8.5. Divisional matchup. Both these teams aren't the greatest. I think the Giants are due for a close game at least. So give me the Giants +8.5.
I'm going to take the Commanders here just because, it's Tommy DeVito. They haven't done anything yet, and it is a divisional matchup, so sometimes those are slug-it-out games. But I'm going to take the better quarterback here, and I'm going to take the Commanders at home.
Next game is the Arizona Cardinals at the Houston Texans. The Texans are -5, coming off a huge win against the Bengals, where they
are in the playoffs.
In the playoffs, it started today.
Yeah.
Cardinals are not in the playoffs. With this being said, the Texans are due for a letdown.
Yeah.
And this is a trap game
100%.
for them. This is a big trap game. The Cardinals won last week off some fluky stuff.
They got Kyler back. He looked good.
Yeah, it was some weird stuff going on down there in Arizona. So this is a trap game. You can mark that down. Cardinals +5. Houston, they're playing as the favorites now, and so they got to get used to that. And we'll see how they respond. But I think it's a trap game. Cardinals +5.
I love it. No, I was going to say the exact same thing. Houston's coming off a big win. Arizona's maybe getting their groove back. Give me the Cardinals +5 as well. I like that pick. That may be the lock of the week.
Next game is Tennessee Titans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars are -7. The Titans currently are, up and down. They're on the roller coaster ride, Tony Braxton style. Levis has been playing well. The Jaguars kind of got exposed last week pretty badly. I think they'll come back this week with a vengeance, take care of the Titans. And the Titans have no chance of making the playoffs in my eyes this year. They have a solid quarterback, but I think he's going to need time. He's going to go through these growing pains. Jacksonville usually beats the teams they need to beat, and this is another one of those teams. So give me the Jaguars -7.
Yeah, I feel like I'm almost copying you here, but I like that pick as well. Jacksonville needs a get-back game, and I think they get it here against the Titans, a division rival down in South Florida. So I'll also take the Jaguars -7.
Next game is the Los Angeles Chargers at the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are +3. This game is an interesting game full of, promising quarterbacks. It looks good on paper. This is a paper-looking, good-looking game.
Yeah.
Not really an eyesight good-looking game. It's like having a coloring book, but it ain't colored. It's just like black and white.
Yeah.
but the cover looks really cool, and you're gonna open it up and you're gonna see a whole bunch of drawings that you don't want it to draw.
Yeah.
So that's what this game kind of reminds me of. But with that being said, give me the Chargers -3. I think Herbert is better than Love at the end of the day. That's gonna make the difference. Chargers usually beat the bad teams. Packers don't beat any teams, so I'll take the Chargers -3.
Yep, I like that as well. I'm going to take the Chargers, and I'm just going to go here clearly off quarterback. I don't love Justin Herbert, but Jordan Love is not that guy. And I'll take Herbert. I'll take the Chargers -3 here.
Next game is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers are -12. This one's very simple for me. 49ers -12. Baker's been exposed. Baker's, got the kitchen on fire. Baker's pastry chef has been throwing apple turnovers. And I think that his clock is up and Cinderella needs her slippers back. So give me 49ers -12.
Yep, I like that too. I'm going to take the 49ers. I think they run the ball here. And I think they kind of drag them out. So, yep, I'll take the Niners as well.
Christian McCaffrey back on his touchdown machine march this week, so go ahead and bet that too.
Mm-hmm.
Next game is the New York Jets at the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are -7, coming off a horrible loss. Horrible, probably the worst loss of the season.
Yuck.
And the New York Jets coming off a pretty bad loss as well. But the New York Jets have no hope this season. They were hoping Aaron Rodgers come back, but that ain't going to make no difference right now. It will make a difference, actually, but I think they're toast unless he comes back this week. And so with that being said, it's hard for me to even take the Bills spread here because they're just not doing it. And I honestly, give me the Jets +7. I give up on the Bills this season. I've tried to give them the benefit of the doubt. I think they can win the game, but I think it's going to be close. So give me the Jets +7.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bills here. I think it's a get back game for them. They lost the first game of the season to the Jets, and I think they get them back here. I think it's a little revenge. I think they get back on track. So give me the Bills.
Next game is the Seattle Seahawks at the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are +1. This one's pretty simple for me. Give me the Seahawks just because they have the better quarterback. They have the better team overall as of now. They're rolling. I wouldn't say they're hot, but they're definitely more consistent in getting the job done at a more frenetic pace than the Rams. The Rams are kind of just like 1 week they're good, 3 weeks they're bad, 1 week they're good, 3 weeks they're bad. And it's just, it's a season where they need to kind of look at themselves in the mirror and be like, what we trying to do? What we trying to do? We trying to actually be a competitive team, or we just going to be in the middle of the bunch? So give me the Seahawks. I feel like, they got too much firepower. They got that poise and that promise this year. And that's about it.
Yep, I'm going to take the Seahawks as well. I just don't trust the Rams. They don't really have a home field advantage, so I'll take the Seahawks minus the point here.
Sunday Night Football.
Such an ugly game.
The Minnesota Vikings at the Denver Broncos. The Broncos coming off a huge win. The Broncos are -2. This game will be actually fairly interesting, I think. The Broncos have been winning a couple games lately, and the Vikings are on a 4 or 5 game winning streak with their backup quarterback. So I think that this game will be better than advertised, just like the Broncos game and the Bills game last Monday night. Give me the Vikings +2, however. I think they're just on a roll coming down the mountain. Here we come. Settings. And they're like an avalanche, just knocking teams over left and right.
Oh my God, Super Bowl?
And I don't know about Super Bowl, but they're coming through in the clutch. And I like Dobbs. He's proven everybody wrong. He's a good guy too. So give me Dobbs and the Vikings +2. I don't know how they're not favored in this game.
This is where I gotta fade you here. So at least we get a couple, that are different. But I think the Broncos are playing good, and I think it's time for the Vikings to they haven't really played that many good teams during this win streak, and their schedule is pretty soft, just like the whole NFC North schedule is pretty soft. And I think they run into a viable opponent here. Russ is playing okay. They're running the ball, and I think that defense, puts the stop to Dobbs, and Wilson does enough. So I'm going to take the Broncos -2.
They're beating the teams they need to beat. And this is another one of those teams on the schedule. The Broncos are not making the playoffs this year, period. The Vikings have a chance. Therefore, they have more hope and more grit and more grind to the, swagger.
We'll see.
The game of the week.
Yes.
Monday Night Football. The game of the week. The Philadelphia Eagles at the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are -2.5. Super Bowl rematch. Probably the game of the season. You know, you get a Super Bowl rematch in the regular season. That's got to be the game of the week. I don't care how the teams are doing.
Yeah.
But both these teams are top of their divisions.
Yeah.
Top of their conferences.
Great matchup on Monday night.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, ESPN.
Yeah, about time y'all do something
I
right for
know.
once. I've been tired of y'all been flaking on these games. But y'all lucked into this. I mean, you couldn't have missed this one. There's no way you can mess this one up.
Super Bowl rematch. We got Taylor Swift. You know Taylor Swift?
She ain't going to be at the game, though.
Oh, wait. You know who her actual hometown team is?
Yeah, the Eagles.
The Philadelphia Eagles.
But she's not going to be at the game, though.
Is she on tour?
She actually about to be back on tour. She's getting ready.
Okay. Well, I thought maybe she might be at the game. But this is all the headlines. You know, it's got the brothers. It's got the Donda Kelsey.
Donda.
Is that her name?
Donna?
Donna's
Kanye West's mom.
Okay, well, we got Donna Kelsey. We got the Kelsey brothers. We got the Super Bowl rematch. We got Andy Reid facing his former team. Super Bowl rematch. This game has it all. Who you got? Don't say
it. I'll take the Chiefs just because home field advantage this time. I think the Eagles honestly have a better team this year than the Chiefs. They could arguably had a better team last year too, but they had. Did they have Tyreek? No, they didn't have Tyreek last year.
No, we had Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah, they had better receivers last year than they had this year, though, and I think honestly that's the difference. The Chiefs have not been putting up the points that they've been accustomed to, but I think this is Patrick Mahomes' kind of coming out game when his back's against the wall. That's when he honestly plays the best. He plays up to his opponent sometimes, and sometimes he plays down to him. And I think this is the game where he stands up and reminds people of who he is and shows out. You know, I think honestly, this is the Chiefs' game to lose. The Eagles have been doing good this year, but they definitely have been, edging a lot of their games. So give me the Kansas City Chiefs -2.5.
You know how I'm rocking. There's no way I'm not picking the Chiefs here. I hope it's going to be a great game. I'm very excited. I wish I was going to be back home for this, but I'm sadly not going to. But give me the Chiefs -2.5, and I think they pull away. This would be a big win and set them apart in the AFC. So,
well, y'all heard it here first. We got some locks on the way. I'm just gonna take a sneak peek to next week. We got some quality games, a lot of divisional games. Our Monday and Sunday night slate aren't the best. Again,
Sunday pretty good. Baltimore,
Monday's
LA.
trash. Not trash,
Mondays,
but not. Yeah, I'll say trash.
That's trash.
But again,
I mean, it's
again,
they are always in prime time.
But anyways, y'all, appreciate y'all tuning in.
Let's get it.
We getting better each week and every week.
We'll have
this week got a lot of locks in it, so definitely more. I think this week is promising.
Yeah,
I might have to pick all my picks this week actually for once.
Yeah.
But until next time, y'all. Deuces. Peace and blessings.